Today, I'm going to help you reduce anxiety in the next 3 minutes, starting right now. All right, first things first, grab something small, little heart, even a hair tie would work, a chapstick, your keys, anything small. Put that item in front of you. Follow along with me on the screen. What you're going to do is put it in front of you in both of your hands and softly gaze at it. If you're being chased by a tiger, you could not access a soft gaze. That's going to tell your body you're safe. Softly gaze at it in front of you, and then you're going to start passing it across the midline of your body, allowing it to go out to the left and to the right. And without moving your head, you're going to allow your eyes to look at that object out of your peripheral vision. As you continue to see it out of your peripheral vision, you're accessing both left brain and right brain. And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you why you should listen to me today. Continue doing that. My name's Nina Vasquez. I'm a trauma-informed life coach, but I haven't always been a trauma-informed life coach. Before that, my story goes, I was a complex trauma survivor in childhood. I suffered with anxiety and depression and a lot of maladaptive survival strategies from childhood. And that led me down a path to heal my own trauma, and it's brought me right here to help you in your journey. Right about now, you should have already felt like a deeper breath, a sigh of some sorts. And if you have, that's going to be your cue to be like, okay, I can go ahead and stop this tool. Now, I just want you to check in with your body and notice if your level of anxiety has reduced any. That's tool number one. Now, you can use all these tools in sequential order if you want to, or you can just use one of them. But I want you to leave this video today with a toolkit. You can call it an anti-anxiety toolkit if you want, but some sort of toolkit that you can carry around with you. So that way, when you do experience anxiety, you have some tools to use rather than just going to a doctor and getting a pill and then taking a pill. Real life story. You could take a pill and then the anxiety could still be there and you would always be dependent on that tool, but you actually have within your body things that can help you with anxiety. All right. Number two, you're going to move from that tool to another tool. You want to remember anxiety is energy and motion. So that energy and motion needs somewhere to go. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand up. You're going to soften your knees and you're going to start shaking your body. This is called somatic shaking. You're going to start shaking, and I want you to do this for about a minute. So start shaking, allowing your body to shake. You're not jumping off the floor, you're just allowing yourself to shake. Notice the shaking can be big, it can be small, but you're just going to continue to shake. And you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna think, oh, that was about a minute, but nope, keep going. That was not a minute. Keep going for a full minute. And you're shaking and moving the energy in your body. And as you're shaking, just notice the sensations in your body. Notice where they're, if the sensations are bigger in your arms or you have more sensations in your stomach or your chest, just notice and keep shaking. As you come to the end of that minute, you're going to bring your body to stillness. And as you bring your body to stillness, keeping your knees slightly bent, just stop. Don't think, just watch. Watch your body. Do you have sensations or vibrations going through your fingers or your arms or your legs? What do you notice in the body? Okay. Okay, last tool. Now remember, you can use any of these tools on their own, or you can use them all if you want to. Last tool, take your hands, one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. We're going to do the physiological sigh. We're going to do it 4 times. So what you're going to do is take 2 sips of air through your nose, exhaling out of your mouth with a sigh. Allow that sigh to be long and slow, slower than you think is normal. Sipping again in through the nose, 2 short sips. 1 long exhale. Again, 2 sips of air in through the nose. Long exhale out. If you don't like the side, just exhale like you're blowing through a straw. Long and slow in the exhale. That's going to ground that energy down, grounding the energy down into the earth. Last one, 2 sips of air in. Long exhale out. And that's it. Check in with your body right now. Notice right now that you've reduced you've reduced the anxiety in your body in 3 minutes or less. Now, what you can do now is you can repeat these tools, or if you feel like you have fast moving energy in your body, I'm going to recommend that you go for a walk, do some push-ups, dance. I want you to do anything that moves your body. You have got energy in your body, and it needs to go somewhere. And it's useful when it's being used to go somewhere, to do something. You can redirect the energy into something that you really want to do. Okay, so those are the tools to reduce. And the reason why we start with the body is if we try to change our thoughts when we're feeling anxious, we're just going to be thought swapping anxiety thoughts, because when we feel anxious in our body, we have anxious thoughts. The mind is informed by the body. So if you were feeling zen and peaceful, you'd have all these peaceful zen thoughts, right? So what you don't want to do is try to talk yourself out of anxiety. But here's the part where I start teaching you a little bit and sharing with you a little bit about what to do after you notice you felt anxiety and you brought some regulation into your body. And remember, regulation just equals safety. You brought some regulation into your body. You feel a little bit safer. And now you can discover, why am I feeling anxious? Now, I want you to know that anxiety is not bad, okay? Many of us think if we experience anxiety, it's bad, but it's not bad. Anxiety is useful. In the military, when I was in the military, anxiety was really useful. It helped me be vigilant, right? And I know, like CIA, like I know people, like when you're going into fields like that, a healthy level anxiety is useful, okay? So it's not bad. The issue that we have as human beings is that we label it, and we say it's our anxiety. We say things like, I have anxiety, like my anxiety. First things first with the mindset and thought work around anxiety, and we're going to get to it. But the first things first is I need you to stop calling it my. It's not your anxiety. You don't walk around and say, my sadness, my overwhelm, my joy. All those are feelings and emotions, right? My shame. We don't walk around and say that. But what happens is when we experience anxiety, especially with the Western medicine model, it like puts this label on you. You have anxiety. Let me tell you, we all experience anxiety. Some of us more than others. Some of us, we wake up with it. And we're like, what did I do? I just woke up with anxiety. And this especially happens in the perimenopause, menopause transition for sure. It can happen, but some of us who've had childhood trauma, it just is. It's almost like it's like a blanket we carry around. But the first thing you want to do is stop labeling it as my anxiety. Just call it the anxiety. I'm experiencing anxiety right now. You're experiencing anxiety right now. Same as if you were experiencing devastation, you would have sensation, vibration in your body, okay? Now, after you bring yourself to a regulated state, then you can start to label it. You can start to say, okay, a lot of people who have suffered from trauma, we struggle to get out of our mind and into our body. So we always say like, no, I don't know where I feel it. I just know I do. Sometimes when I ask my clients, or even me in the past, like, where exactly in your body are you noticing anxiety? We can't even come away from the mind. We're like, no, I just feel it in my head. And we're identifying as like that overthinking brain is anxiety. And that's okay. It's not wrong. It's just where you're at right now. But after you do some regulation and you get into the body, what's going to happen is you're going to start to be able to identify, oh, it's actually like this tightness in my chest. I often feel anxiety before I come on and create a video for YouTube. And it'll be like tightness in my chest, or like queasiness in my stomach, or lots of energy in my arms. I'm actually sweating right now because I'm doing a video on YouTube, and my brain and my body thinks that it's dangerous to go on here and be seen like this, right? So I'm teaching you, and that's why I'm here. And some of us, we do some like edgy things. Maybe you want to get outside your comfort zone, and you are going to feel some anxiousness, and you need to know what to do to help yourself to be with the anxiety, right? So those tools are going to help you. Now, after you've learned regulation tools and you use them to support your body through emotions it's feeling or experiencing, then you can get to the point where you're like, okay, like I did all the regulation, I got myself to a safe place, but I'm still feeling like a level, out of 0 to 5, 5 being the highest level of anxiety. I'm probably feeling like a 1 or 2 right now. And that's okay because for example, I can go into a job interview at a level 1 or 2. I can step on stage and speak at a level 1 or 2. I can come on YouTube and share some tools at a level 1 or 2. So you want to get yourself to a level that you can tolerate, a level you can be with, a level that you're not going to be going to coping mechanisms to survive them, like eating, drinking, numbing, any of those coping mechanisms that we do to get through anxiety. A lot of people get through anxiety by overworking or over cleaning, and they'll be like, no, I can't just sit. I can never be still. And that's a sign that you are probably experiencing anxiety. So, okay. So I think I like really push that point in, drop the label. You're experiencing anxiety right now. Okay. That's it. It's not yours. And so every time your brain wants to say my anxiety when you're sharing with someone, I want you to say, oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not my, it's the. I experience the anxiety. Okay. All right. Now on to thought work and mindset work after you've brought regulation into your body. So anxiety can be created 2 ways. We have, it can come from the top down or the bottom up. Okay. So let's talk about, because we just talked about bottom up, meaning I am experiencing anxiety, and then I have anxious thoughts because my mind is informed by the body and the mind is giving me thoughts that are in line with the way I'm feeling. Okay. But let's talk about top down, meaning I have a thought and it creates anxiety in my body. Okay. Now, once you bring regulation in, then you can do this reflection. You're going to ask yourself, what am I thinking? What am I thinking about? Oftentimes, the answer is going to be something in the future. You're going to be thinking about the future, catastrophizing about the future. I want you to imagine like you are literally at a drive-in theater, and there's a big white screen in front of you, and in front of you is a movie that you've painted with your thoughts. And the worst case scenario is often what you're painting in that movie. And you want to bring awareness to that, because when we're all the way in the future, we create anxiety. When we're in the past, we create depression, but that's another topic altogether. But we are literally creating anxiety with our thoughts. So what you want to do is bring yourself back. This is a tool that I want you to keep in your toolkit. After you use the tools I shared with you at the beginning, I want you to bring yourself back to the present moment. And I want you to bring yourself back to facts only. What I know right now, facts only. Tell it to yourself. I always say, like, Nina, tell me, facts only. What do you know right now? What's the truth right now? All the things that we're worried about in the future, they're not happening, but we're literally creating anxiety. With that movie that we put on the drive-in screen, it's almost like you're watching a scary movie and you're feeling anxiety. I mean, I'm sure you've watched a scary movie. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so I watched a lot of scary movies growing up. I hate them now. I do not. You can't pay me to watch one. But you know how when you watch something scary, or you watch something like that has anticipation in it, a movie that has anticipation or scariness in it, you'll literally feel it in your body. That's the same thing as painting that picture and having those anxious thoughts and creating more anxiety in the body. So, what I want you to do in the best and easiest way is use your breath to bring yourself back to present moment. Deep breath in, long exhale out. What's the facts right now? Facts are not stories. Facts are everyone would agree with us. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get that job, or oh my gosh, those people are going to know that I don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm going to make a mistake, or, if you're worried about your children, you're like painting negative pictures about them. Like, you have to bring yourself back to present moment and take a breath. And then I often use a lot of self-touch nowadays. So I know in the example I offered, it was like hand on heart, hand on belly. But if you're in a Zoom meeting and you notice that you're feeling anxiety, just keep your hands down and start breathing. Nobody is going to know. Nobody's going to know. Okay, so we really need to change our relationship to anxiety, the way we think about it, the way we're with it, and the way we label it. And when you change your relationship to anxiety, you'll also start to change your relationship to other emotions and feelings. And you'll start to be like, oh, I can handle this. I can tolerate this. I'm sitting here now. I'm feeling less sweaty. I'm feeling less shallow breath, right? So at this moment, my guess is you're probably feeling a little bit less anxious. And that's the key. We're not trying to get rid of emotions and feelings. We're not trying to get rid of anxiety. We're just trying to reduce it so that way you can make a conscious choice. The hardest thing to do is make a conscious choice when we're activated in what we call survival mode. When you're activated, when you're experiencing anxiety, there's 3 jobs your brain has. Conserve your energy, and it does that by repeating patterns, cycles of thinking, repeating survival patterns that you've had in the past, coping strategies, all those things. And then it has another job to keep you safe. And the other one is seek pleasure now. And so that's why it's so challenging to make a conscious choice. Sometimes we're experiencing anxiety and we want to like blow our life up, right? Or we want to make a drastic choice. So we want to bring the level of anxiety down so you can make a conscious choice and ask yourself what you want to do now. What do I want to do now? Okay, I hope this video was helpful for you. Anxiety is not yours. It's just something we experience as human beings. And I created a nervous system guide that can help you understand your nervous system and help you understand just the human experience when it comes to emotions and feelings. And if you'd like to download that, you can download it for free. I'll just put the link in the description box below. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next episode.